favor, everybody, and make sure that you say hello to somebody. If you can hear my voice, go ahead and give somebody a high five. Maybe somebody that you never met.
Right.
If you can hear my voice, give them a high five. Let's get some high fives going on around here. NADA 2022. We are excited to see each and every one of you. Look at that. That's Glenn right there. Check it out.
Oh, we got Glenn Lundy in the house today.
Yes,
over here
Glenn
at the Polygo
Lundy.
7009 North. Come on now. Get over here and check this out live. We're going to have some fun because we got Mr. Rise and Grind, Breakfast with
The one
Champions,
and only.
King of the Clubhouse, Mr. 800 Club. Are you kidding me? Oh, one of my greatest mentors that I've had for the last couple of years, somebody that I look up to and just cherish everything that he does. It's amazing. We're excited to have you here. The first interview of our conference this time around. And we have Glenn Lundy for us.
We got to do it the right way. The one, the only, Glenn Lundy.
You know
yes.
This is the first one, really? The first
This
interview?
is our first
wow.
one.
What do you guys think about this amazing event?
This is incredible.
Blows
Being
my
able to
mind.
see this energy. I've never seen so much energy at one event. And it's so huge. It's like so big, so huge, so big are the smiles too. Everybody's excited to be here.
I think like, you had some pent up demand. Is this thing loud? Can you guys hear me?
Can you guys hear him? Great.
I feel like it's low.
They usually turn us down. They usually
turn you down.
Yeah, we
we
get noticed for being turned down quite a bit.
Gotcha.
Turned down for what?
Well,
what?
The pent up demand, obviously, of us wanting to get together openly without all the masks and all the crazy, right? I think that feeds into it. But even more so, I think that everyone can feel and sense that the industry, something's happening, right? And it's moving fast. And it's like, we better get some information. I was talking to Ben Stock this morning, Brian Benstock, and he was like, thank you, sir. Is that better? Better? No? Worse? Same?
Sound
Different?
good? Sound good?
Indifferent?
Can we hear them? Good, good,
I hear
good.
you guys
So many
loud,
amazing
but
people.
I'm like soft. But anyway,
I really want to go hug some
Ben
people
Stock,
right now.
and Ben Stock was like, he's normally one of the speakers here, and he's in and out, but Ben Stock was like, I'm here to learn over the next couple of days. He's like, we've got to make some decisions. Is the brightest time in this industry ahead of us, or is it behind us, right? And I think that's what we're all here to try to figure out, is are our best years ahead or are the best years behind? Because then we got to make some decisions, right? If we feel like it's behind. And I believe personally that there's more opportunity over the next 5 years than there's ever been in the history of this industry.
Yes,
so
Glenn.
we just got to figure out where it's at, right? We got to figure out where it's at.
Speaking of bright, take a look at this tie right here, okay?
No, it's
and what I love is that it's on somebody that actually is doing what it takes to affect people in how they start their day, how they pay attention to the problems that they go and master and they put behind them, and actually making sure that you fuse together a spiritual walk with it, a real fundamentals of doing your job right, getting the mission done and connecting to culture. And that's ultimately why we're here, right? You've inspired us. You've inspired Fred. You've inspired me, right, to be who it is that we are. But it's made us jump out here to caffeinate a culture and trying to get people woke. Everybody say woke.
Say
woke.
That's
Listen,
right.
man, here's what it comes down to, right? And we had the show Rise and Grind. We have Breakfast with Champions. You guys are Car Guy Coffee Guys. And really what it comes down to is if you change the way you start your day, it makes a massive impact in your life. Now, how does this translate into the auto industry? Well, let's look at the auto industry. Let's look at our dealerships. How are most dealerships starting their day, right? So-and-so trickles in at whatever time. Some people are a little early. Some people are a little late, right? Then once they get there, they grab their Red Bull, right? Grab their Red Bull or their 5-hour energy or whatever, their Monster energy drink, and they guzzle down all this nasty stuff that's no good for them, right?
Yes,
then everybody gets around and they talk about playing Fortnite last night, cryptocurrency, metaverse, all that stuff, right? Then around 10 o'clock, somebody says, what are we having for breakfast? So then they work around and they figure out who's going to go get breakfast and what we're going to get for breakfast. Then we eat breakfast, and by the time we're done eating breakfast, we start thinking about what we're going to have for lunch. Right? And so here's what we've determined is that if we can help people change the way they start their day in their dealerships and in their lives, it makes a massive difference, right? Massive. So that's something that we work with our dealers on. I love that you guys are changing the way people start their day. If we can start our day with motivation, education, inspiration, tap into mind, body, and spirit, if we can do that in our businesses and at home, we can make a massive impact in this industry and beyond.
It's making a massive impact in this industry right now. I see many people jumping on that. And what's crazy is influencing other industries, other people from all walks of life, all over this world, Glenn. And you've been doing that so amazingly. I've been watching you with the Clubhouse and before the Clubhouse, but Clubhouse really springboard you even further, and you went in there and you just did it, and you found a group of amazing solutionaries out there doing some amazing things, some champions that are just killing the game, and you really surround yourself with amazing people. What is it about surrounding yourself with amazing people helps you elevate?
Well, I believe that this industry specifically, and I only know this industry, right? This is where I've been my whole life. But in this industry, we're so siloed, right? We learn from our mentor, the guy that came before us, the guy came before him. My guess is everybody in here's got a mentor that showed him the ropes, showed him the business, taught him a thing, right? And we stay in our store and we work our 70 hours a week and we've got our heads down and we're just doing this, right? And we read something, NADA says that the salesperson's supposed to sell 10 cards a month, so that's what we're going to do. Finance guy's supposed to sell 70, so that's what we're going to do. People got to work bell to bell, so that's what we're going to do, right? And we just have our heads down in these silos. And what I've learned is that when we can expand outside of our industry, then we start to look and we go, some of the stuff some of the stuff we're doing in this industry is stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but it's because that's how daddy taught us to do it. And that's how daddy's daddy taught him to do it. And so it's nothing, it's not that we're doing it wrong. It's just, we don't know. So I like to create spaces with people that don't look like me, walk like me, talk like me, don't believe, there's Liza, don't believe what I believe. I like to create those types of spaces. Amen. So that either when they say something, I can go, yes, I resonate with that and I didn't know that and thank you for teaching me that. Or I can go, no, I don't resonate with that and it cements my belief systems, right? So I just love creating those spaces, and that's what Breakfast with Champions is on Clubhouse. It's a collaboration of people from all over the world. Like, social media used to be all over the world. Social media used to be like your country, local for the most part, right? Like Facebook, you put in your zip code and then it'll bring you stuff in your area for the most part. Whereas the social audio world is global. So now we're starting to get perspective from Dubai, perspective from Spain, perspective from Japan, perspective from China, perspective from Australia. And when we start to do that, it really opens our eyes to what's possible.
Wow. And I tell you, over the last 6 months, one of the greatest things you told me, Glenn, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks, was all perspectives matter. And when you said that, I've re-preached that to so many people. I've passed that legacy down, and I think that it's one of the best advices that you can give somebody is to understand that just because you think of it one way doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong, but there's so many other angles that you could do things at, other ways that you could look at people and find ways that can help you grow, find ways that can help others grow, advice that you could give somebody. Maybe you won't take it, but sometimes we give the advice, right? But you won't have that unless you see these other perspectives. You talk to people from all over the world, different cultures, different ideas, different heart sets. I mean, it could be completely opposite of what you believe. Listen to them, hear them out, and I appreciate that. That was one of the best things I heard in a long time.
Same thing's true in auto, right? Yeah. So we created, me and this is my partner Evan over here, with our 800% Club. As you know, we work with owners, general managers, dealerships all across the country.
800%.
And what we created with that is, I want to know what the Honda dealers think. I want to know what the Chevy dealers think. I want to know what the Chrysler dealers think. I want to know what the independent dealers think. I want to know what the small dealers think. I want to know what the big dealers think. I want to know what dealers in Michigan think. I want to know what dealers in Florida think. I want to know what dealers in California think. Because when I get all the different perspectives, now I can not only make a good decision today, but I can actually see into the future, right? Because you start to see patterns that develop. You're like, okay, wait a minute.
So right.
The independent dealer and the franchise dealer, the guy that's selling 1,000 and the guy that's selling 50, they're experiencing this. This is happening. So what's going on there? How can we identify that, right? That awareness. So same is true there in our industry. It's important. And here's what we tend to do. We tend to jump into a 20 group with other dealers that look like us, walk like us, talk like us, right? They're about the same shape and size. They sell the same product. And there's benefit to that. There's 100% benefit to that. But we have to get beyond that if we really want to like grow, scale, impact, all of those things, because you can't learn how to sell 1,000 cars a month if you're hanging out with a bunch of people that sell 100.
That's
mic drop.
Put
right
that
there. That's
inside of your cup
and sip on it. That's right.
Listen,
and I'm telling you, that is some caffeinated culture for you right there. It's all about that. You know, one of our good friends, Erica Wells, she says to us, your culture culture of your dealership is its personality. So understand that your culture of your dealership is the personality of the dealership. And we tend to be attracted to personalities that we love. So be that type of personality, be different, change the way that people look at car guys and car gals, change the way that we do business with people in the community. we have to make a difference, and we have to do it loud and proud, and we have to do it with people like Lundy leading the way. So glad that we have people like that out there. Blessed, man. You're awesome.
Take that a step further, and then I'll let you jump in. I think the culture of your dealership, yes, it's the personality, it's the soul, it's the essence of who you are. But I think what the leaders in the dealership have to know and understand is that culture's going to represent, it's their soul, it's their baby, right? Who the owner of the dealership, the general manager of the dealership, the leader of the dealership, that's what's trickling down, period. So you can be like, I want everybody doing video, but I'm the boss. I don't have to do video. It ain't going to happen.
Preach.
It's never going to happen, right?
Never.
So whatever culture you're trying to create, it starts from the top all the way down. So just want to add that to there.
So you said it earlier. You spoke about the brightness of this industry, whether it was behind us or it's in front of us. Again, we're saying that Glenn Lundy's over here wearing the big, bright tie, but he's also representing something that I think we all have to get and understand, that we are dealing with what it is that we've inherited in that culture. So if we weren't fathered right, we don't know how to father right, right? Inside of that, this man over here, a man of, I mean, we got 8, right?
I got 8 babies. I got 8 babies.
Ocho. 8 babies, okay? What I love about that number is it represents new beginnings, right? And inside of that, I believe that there is a new adoption that is taking place inside of the auto industry, where there are people that are adopting new ideas. There's people that are adopting new ways of thinking, new ways of leading, new ways of speaking to our sales pros, speaking to our service reps, speaking to our vendors, right? Speaking to our customer, right? And this entire new thinking is being fathered by those that are actually taking a hold of that and changing the culture, because I believe that a culture is going to be affected by ultimately the language of the culture, or it's fundamental, right? You have to be able to have a language in order to call that a culture. So what is it that you're seeing happening now? Because you're raising your light, but so many others are doing the same thing. Robin's raising her light, and so many are doing the same thing that are now changing the way that we are approaching how we deal with the customers, how we deal with each other, and how we build our business. Why is it that important that we accept the adoption that's happening now inside of this industry and just approach the way that we father differently?
Sure. I think what we all have to understand is that strategies change, but principles are always the same, right? The principles never change. The way we deliver, the way it looks on the outside, that will always change. Principles are the same. We need to create a culture of growth, impact, and profitability. That's the triangle right there. Growth, impact, and profitability. Now, if we're too heavy on the profitability side, but we're not growing as a dealership, or we're not making an impact locally or even globally, we'll have problems, right? Our triangle starts to fall apart. If we're growing rapidly, right, we got the volume, but we're not profitable, then we have a problem. If we're humanitarianism, right, we're really focused on giving back, but we're not growing and we're not making any money, we got a problem. So the principles are there, and the principles are sound. You should be growing year over year over year, period. You should always be growing. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? You should be profitable year over year over year over year. If you're not profitable, there's a problem. You should be making an impact on other people's lives in your building as well as in your communities. If you're not doing that, we have a problem. Amen. Now, what strategies do we have to put into those 3 corners? That's why we're here, right? We learn. What strategies can we apply to make sure we're growing more? What strategies can we apply so we make a bigger impact? What strategies can we apply to make more, to be more profitable? But ultimately, the culture has to be centered around those 3 principles: growth, impact, and profitability.
And what I love,
Trilogy.
I mean, you all over here, each of you that got a couple hands, do me a favor, put them together real quick for Glenn, because that was beautiful. Yeah. Okay, that was incredible.
Thank you.
But brother, you're
in the house.
You're talking about fusing that together. And what I absolutely love about the way that you do fuse it together is that you bring it encouraging. You encourage people while you're at the same time saying, I'm also going to tear down everything that you think you need to do to be successful, right? You have to deliver that punch while at the same time delivering the hug. And I love that you do that way. What is it that people need to know about the culture of really, it's not just the way that people connect to you, but the way they connect inside of the 800% Club. How is it that really is different from any other way people can connect in this industry?
Yeah, so great leadership follows a very simple model. And I'm all about acronyms, models, because I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm just a good student, right? So I follow a model, LEAD, LEADD, right? And this stands for listen, encourage, advise, and develop, and do it daily.
Daily.
That's
Listen,
right.
encourage, advise, and develop.
double
And do it
D.
daily. Okay. So what I do with the people, the dealers that I'm working with, or when I was running the store, my employees, I always started by listening. What do you got going on in your world? What matters to you? What are your values? Right? I'm listening. I want to hear. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Mama taught you all that, right? 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Truth.
So we start by listening. Then once I'm done listening, and while I'm listening, I'm trying to find ways to encourage. So as you're saying things, even if I'm like, this is crazy, I can't believe what that person's saying right now. They are so wrong. Even when they're doing that, I'm going, how can I encourage something? Right? Oh, well, I appreciate your creativity. Right? So I always want to lead out by encouraging. Now, once I've listened to you, Fred, and I've encouraged you, Fred, now I can advise you.
Amen.
And you'll listen to me because I listened to you and I encouraged you. So now I can say, with all that, dude, this is the area. Here's the punch. Here's the gut punch. Here's the body blow, right? But you'll receive it because I listened to you and I encouraged you. Most managers start with advise. That's where they start.
That is so
Here's what
true.
you're doing wrong. Go out there and fix it. Here's what you're doing wrong. Go out there and fix it. How dare you? Blah, 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 blah. This is why the industry went when I started live streaming Saturday morning sales meetings. You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I started live streaming the meetings and they were like, how could you live stream a Saturday morning sales meeting? That's crazy. Because I'm listening, encouraging, advising, and
That's
then
right.
taking the time to develop. So once I punch you in the gut and you bend over and you're like bloody and out of breath, now I gotta develop you to make sure you don't take that gut punch again. Right? So listen, encourage, advise, and develop. We do it daily. That is the key to being able to deliver body blows and have them be received and have them be growth moments versus moments that can cause conflict.
Amen. They have to know that you care.
Thank you. We love that.
They have to know that you care before they care. And
That's right,
that's so
right.
truth. So truth.
And that, again, that would still lead back into the entire culture that's being changed, right? We may have gotten a lot of our habits honestly, right? We may have gotten a lot of the things that we do honestly. And I believe that there's a new fathering, a new mothering of this industry that's helping say, no, son, that's not the way this needs to be done. Or we are going to learn a new way. There is a new way to do this, right? We're not using
the other way,
same
Lou.
wheels.
I think we're going, no, Dad. That's not the way it's going to be done.
Oh,
right?
dude.
I feel like it's
That's
coming
very
out.
true.
It's going on. It's coming out this way.
But we're turning as sons.
I like that, Glenn.
And,
That was
talking
nice.
To our sons too, right?
I do hear that.
That is true. But we have the mics now, right? And that's what's important is that now we have the opportunities to make the impact. And each and every one of you, whether you're watching on the live stream or you're right here and you hear us live here, 2022 NADA, this is a dream
Double
come
up.
true over here with the one and only.
Bro, this is
Glenn
beautiful,
Lundy.
man. This is beautiful. For real. For us
Wow.
to be able to get together like this,
Man.
like, for a while, it felt like we'd never get to do this again.
No, it was
You know
really
what I mean?
like, what's going to
Right.
happen?
Oh my
Is
God,
this
man,
over?
we're
Is it all digital the rest of our lives? You know? What's going on?
Yeah, now there's 30,000 people here, and the energy is just, it's so exciting, and so much to learn, so much wisdom and knowledge in the building.
So
Everybody's
much.
had time to really get their ducks in a row, I think. I think this will be the most impactful event.
I agree with you
NADA
100%.
history.
It is. People have been really sitting there. The ones that have really put the work in have had extra time to do so. Put that test study together, right? Figure out if it works or not and do things that are unique. We had opportunity to be different. We had opportunity to help customers in a way that they wanted. So did we do it? Man, I hope you said yes to that. If you didn't, it's okay. Guess what? You can start today. You can start right now. At this moment, you can give it all up, forgive, focus, and fly, and keep growing, because that's all we have. We don't have yesterday. It's over with. We don't have 2 seconds ago. It's over with. All we have is right now and what we do from this moment on. Man, Glenn, I love what you do.
So speaking of right now and what we do from this point forward, what should them that are watching live know about what's going on with Glenn Lundy, what's to come, and let's just say the next 6 months, because a lot can get squeezed in to a Glenn Lundy schedule in 6 months.
Well, I think that what everyone who has who has been kind enough to share their time with us today, I think what everyone needs to know is there's a futurist by the name of Ross Dawson, and Ross Dawson is respected. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, all these, they look to Ross Dawson to predict the future. And what Ross Dawson has said is that we, humanity, are going to experience 2,000 years of evolution in the next 100 years.
Wow.
2,000 years of evolution in the next 100 years. So if you do some backwards math on that, what that means is that in the next 5 years, we're going to experience 100 years of evolution in the next 5. So let's go back a little bit further. Where were we 100 years ago? 1922. 1922, Ford came out with the Model T.
Right.
People were riding around on horses going, what the heck would I need a car for? Can't take your car into the woods. I need my horse, right? We didn't have, like, it was crazy. Like, think about how far we've come since 1922. And that's what's expected over the next 5 years. So what does that mean?
Wow.
That means we now have an opportunity to create in the next 5 years what took other companies 100. What other companies did in 100, we can now do in
Simple
5.
math, guys.
Okay? So what I want to say to everyone is don't squander this opportunity. Get in the rooms, learn the lessons, throw out anything you used to know and believe to be true because the game done changed. Let's stick to our principles, grow, impact, profitability. We stick to our principles, but let's get in those rooms, learn the new things, and take advantage of what I believe is the greatest time ever to be alive.
Absolutely.
I agree
Man,
so
that's,
much.
I mean, if we didn't have to worry about the mics, I'd say drop that sucker right now. Man, that was nice. We absolutely love you, Glenn.
Oh, and buy a lot of used cars between 15 and 35 grand. Now's the time.
Yes.
Load your lot. Load your lot.
Black, white, and silver only, just so you know.
All right.
Man, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Make sure. Pay attention. So check it out, everybody. Glenn dropped a whole lot on you all, and I am so excited to have a brother that's right here with us that understands how to drop them F-bombs with us. And that, you heard Fred say it, to forgive, focus, and fly so that we can keep growing. There is a little bit of motion to that. Believe me, we have made sure that all the solutionaries that are rising up forgive, focus, and fly with us. So help us out. Those that are watching and those that can hear us now, let's get ready to forgive, focus, and fly together. That's very simple, right? We put our hands on our shoulders, so we wipe off the weight of unforgiveness. If you failed, if you messed up, if you lost it, it's okay. Forgive it. Wipe it off, right? Relationships,
Amen.
forgive, right? Yourself, forgive, right?
Finally yourself.
I don't care what the issue is, forgive it so that your hands are freed up and you can focus on where it is that you want to go, what it is that you want to do, and where it is that you're going and who you can help. And then stretch out in faith and fly and keep growing. Keep growing. So help
let's
us
do it
out.
together, y'all.
On 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing. Keep growing.
Thank you all
Keep
very
growing.
much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Man, love you, man. Thank you.
Wave goodbye to everybody right here on the live stream.
See
Guys,
y'all.